Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to Stately Von Manor, where today it's another fantastic episode of my 100 Favorite Books project. I came up with a list of my 100 favorite books and I made a video about it. I'll link it down below like I always do in these videos. And what I'm basically doing is I have a list of my 100 favorite books, and I'm trying to find the best edition I can of each of those books. And the book I'm going to be talking about today is kind of a cheat because it's Elric of Melniboné. And Elric, of course, is a series of books, but I am just counting Elric as all one book. Because Elric has been published and republished with the stories in different orders and collected in different ways to the point where it's a little confusing. And so it's easier just to say, Elric. The whole Elric Saga I'm counting as one book. And the publishing history has been a little bit tricky for this character. Great character, though, Michael Moorcock's Elric. The doomed Prince Elric of Melniboné, who is a sorcerer. He knows magic and things, and but he's also kind of a sickly guy. He needs drugs to give him enough strength to carry on, But eventually he comes across his great black blade Stormbringer, which is an evil magical sword, basically, which can suck out your soul, and the soul will give him strength once he sucks it out. So it's very dangerous hanging out with Elric, because you just could be hanging out, and he'll just like, hey, how you doing? And he'll stick you with his sword, out of nowhere sometimes. So you got to watch out for this guy. Great series of fantasy stories, very influential series of fantasy stories. And Elric premiered a while ago, 1961, I believe it was, in the Dreaming City, was the first Elric story that was published. One of the tricky things about the Elric Saga is that the stories were not published in the order of Elric's life. They weren't published chronologically. Much like Robert E. Howard's Conan, kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. The end of the Elric Saga is kind of, it's kind of a big thing that happens, and so it's kind of the type of finale that you want to get to at the end, and it just makes more sense if you read Elric's saga chronologically, I think. And very often it has been published that way, sort of, and then the last time it was published by a major publisher was the Del Rey, in America at least. Well, not the last time. There was a set of books after that, but the last set that I have are the Del Rey editions, which were published in the order that they were written. So if you just read them in that order, they can be a bit confusing. And I've been waiting for a decent edition of Elric forever, because like I said, is a great fantasy saga, really dark, really, really good stuff, Elric. And so I've just been waiting to get my hands on a decent edition. There are no, Folio Society editions of Elric, at least not that I am aware of. I don't know of any really super high quality editions like the Folio Society or anything like that of Elric. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I've looked and I haven't found any. So far, this is the best I've been able to get. And this is a pretty recent book. It was just published recently. So this is the Elric Saga Volume 1 of Michael Moorcock's Elric. And it is published by Saga Press. Saga Press, which is Simon & Schuster, published this. So it's just a basic hardcover volume, which is good. Elric has been published in hardcover at least one time that I'm aware of, back in the 90s. And then it was also published in hardcover by the Science Fiction Book Club. And the Science Fiction book, both of those editions are really super expensive, by the way. So I was happy to get this, a good, decent hardcover of the Elric Saga. It's going to be a 3-volume set of Elric. And I was taking a look at it. So basically just your basic hardcover. Nothing spectacular about it, but I'll take it. You know, it is the best that I'm going to be able to get a hold of. It does have very cool end papers in that it shows you a map of Elric's world, which I don't know that I've ever seen before, actually. So this is kind of cool. I was happy to see that. So definitely this is going to be how I read Elric the next time I read Elric. Another interesting thing I've noticed is that it's got 4 volumes of Elric from when Elric was published in paperback. So it's got Book 1, Elric of Melniboné. But Book 2 is Fortress of the Pearl, which shows me that this set is going to be published in chronological order of the Elric Saga. So that's good, because Fortress of the Pearl was a late Elric novel. That came out in 1989. So it was really late. It was one of the last Elric novels to be published. But chronologically, it does come after Elric of Melniboné. So it's in the right place, I believe. And then Book 3, The Sailor on the Seas of Fate, and Book 4, The Weird of the White Wolf. So we got 4 of the paperback volumes all in this one hardcover edition. And like I said, it's a cool edition. It's got this cool picture of Elric. That's a great picture of Elric. That's him all right, gazing down at his sword. It's got a few other illustrations. This is from the original paperback series, I believe. Just some cool Elric illustrations that are just kind of randomly put in towards the end of the book. So that's kind of cool. Looks like we've got a reader's guide to Elric in the back. And we've got another illustration in the back there. That's pretty cool too. So yeah, it's, you know, it's not the Easton Press, but it's a really nice edition of Elric, which is, like I said, something I've been waiting forever for. So I'm really happy to get this. I don't remember when the next 2 volumes are coming out, but it's not going to be a long wait, I don't believe. So soon I should have all 3 volumes. So that'll be cool. So definitely, this is definitely one of my favorites, one of my favorite books, Elric of Melniboné, the Elric Saga Volume 1, and it's got a foreword by Neil Gaiman. So that's cool. So yeah, this is really cool, guys. You should, if you haven't read Elric, by the way, now is the perfect opportunity. I would recommend you get this because if it's anything like past Elric publications, they all sell out, and then any kind of major Elric publication tends to become more expensive. So get this new if you can, if you're interested at all in Elric. It's worth it. It's a great series. You should read this book. Okay, guys, that's all I have to say about this particular book at this particular time. Thank you for joining me here at Stately Vaughn Manor. Be sure to catch me tomorrow for another ridiculous top 10 list when I talk about the 10 greatest H.P. Lovecraft stories. That'll be fun. Okay, guys, I'll catch you next time.